In Albuquerque, New Mexico, 5 murders and no suspects have police at a dead end.
We had nothing. We had no fingerprints. We had no hair samples.
Will Dr. Henry Lee be able to help investigators find the clues they need? With at least 2 killers on the loose and the city of Albuquerque on high alert, police had little to go on in the murders of 5 innocent victims. That was when they asked Dr. Henry Lee to consult on their findings. Dr. Lee, Guy Pierce, and Joe Foster used lab interns to stand in for the victims as they reconstructed the video store murders.
At that point, I believe that he could have shot this young man twice in the head.
Create a lot of blood spatter in this location.
And
probably
shot her next. Stepped in, shot her 3 times in the head.
With a clear vision of what had transpired in the video store, investigators traveled back to the mountain site of the McDougal's murders.
There was a tire track right about here. And all of these were different than the victim's vehicle.
Obviously, suspect left the scene. Obviously, somebody had to drive with that 2 victims. So I look at least 2 suspects.
So in this area, we found the bodies, and on the other side of the fence, we had about 16 9mm cartridge casings.
9 long days after the murders, detectives finally got the break they were hoping for. An ex-convict named John LaSalle called the hotline from Colorado and said an old girlfriend had confessed to killing the McDougals. But when police tracked down Esther Beckley and brought her in for questioning, her story changed. While admitting she had been in the video store during the robbery, she insisted that another ex-con, Shane Harrison, had rounded the victims up and pulled the trigger. It was all police needed to kick the investigation into high gear.
Inside Shane's apartment, we found a black duffel bag. It had numerous guns in it.
Inside the black duffel bag was a Tech 9 9mm handgun. At the Albuquerque Crime Lab, ballistics expert Mike Haig test-fired the weapon found in Shane Harrison's duffel bag into a water tank to compare it to shell casings and slugs found at the crime scene. The bullets and casings from both crime scenes were a perfect match to those from the test firings. Shane Harrison was arrested and charged with first-degree murder, but the case against him was far from solid.
Of course, he can claim somebody used his weapon, borrow his weapon, fired a shot. We still cannot put his hand on the weapon itself.
As predicted, Harrison claimed he was innocent and said he had loaned the gun to Esther Beckley. Detectives needed more definitive evidence.
We made contact with Shane's next-door neighbor. He indicated to us that he had a jacket belonging to Shane.
Police sent the jacket to the Albuquerque Crime Lab for tests.
All right, let's check the pocket. Looks like some reddish material here.
Good trace.
DNA analysis revealed it was blood belonging to Zachary Blacklock. But how had it gotten inside a jacket pocket? Dr. Lee tested the police theory that blowback from the shots that killed Zachary had deposited blood on the gun barrel, which was transferred to the jacket when the weapon was put back inside the pocket. Beckley now agreed to cooperate with the investigation. Police hoped she could lead them to a crucial piece of evidence, the missing surveillance video. After the murders, they had taken the video to Shane's apartment and destroyed it.
Shane's next-door neighbor. He indicated to us that Shane had tried to clean his house and borrowed his vacuum cleaner.
And inside the bag, they hit pay dirt.
There's a little piece plastic material.
The destroyed tape couldn't yield any video evidence, but it did show that so far, Esther Beckley's story was accurate. Police still needed to connect Harrison to the McDougal crime site, but a search of his car's interior turned up nothing. It was when police examined the vehicle's undercarriage that their fortunes changed.
A plastic air dam mounted on the front of the car had a large piece broken out of it. So we sent 2 detectives back up to the crime scene where the McDougals had been found, and they did find a piece of plastic that appeared to have come from that air dam. And we took that piece and compared it to the air dam itself.
Excellent job. perfect fit.
Harrison forced the McDougals at gunpoint to get on the freeway and drive east. Then he made them pull off to a remote location just off Highway 14. He didn't want to leave any witnesses.
That both of these individuals.
The jury found Shane Harrison guilty of felony murder. He received a sentence of 258 years.
Esther Beckley's sentence was 90 years. And so she, having been 42 when she started serving her sentence, will die in prison. And Shane Harrison will certainly die in prison.